Today, I want to get into Jimin crying a lot of tears and what happened there. I want to get into people saying that Jin appears thinner and Jimin talking about Jin not eating. And then we have Jung Kook at the hospital. So hey Dumplings, it's David Desai. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey Spling Mug merch, and let's go. Recently on Instagram, Jim posted a photo with him, Jimin, and J-Hope all together. It appeared as if Jimin and J-Hope had some time off and decided to go visit Jin. You could see that this would not be a normal setting in which the boys would hang out, and it was quite cool to see Jin wearing his military uniform. Many people wondered why the other members did not attend or try to visit Jin that day. Of course, rumors that there is drama between the members or the members don't like Jin were all things people talked about. But that is rarely ever true. The other members are preparing for their own thing. RM is likely still doing press, Suga has his show, V has his show, and Jungkook will talk about in a minute. So of course that leaves Jimin, who has yet to start his solo stuff, and J-Hope, who has essentially finished his solo stuff. Both of them are obviously going to have more time to visit Jin. People thought that Jungkook would have made some time to go as he is free and admitted to not having plans and seems to miss Jin the most. Of course, if you're also not keeping yourself as busy, it totally makes sense why you would be constantly thinking about the people not currently in your life and lingering on it, since there's nothing else going on. However, people theorize there is actually a bit of a darker reason why Jungkook was not able to go visit. If you are not aware, Jungkook has had multiple pets. He had one dog named Gurum, and this was a white fluffy dog that is so cute, and obviously Jungkook loves him. Currently, he is being honored in the game in the Seom, and we can all play the game and interact with him there. After a little bit, Gurum had passed. Jungkook got another dog named Bam. Bam is a Doberman, and Jungkook made headlines with Bam for not cutting his ears, which is a very common thing that a lot of Doberman owners tend to do. Jungkook has been very active with streaming, and he says that he often jumps on live when he is thinking of ARMY and has things to update us on. So during a recent live stream, Jungkook talked about how he feels like the apartment is always extremely quiet lately, and a big reason for that is because Bam isn't there at the moment. Jungkook would be used to coming home and seeing Bam's face or Bam being super excited, and the quiet is very alarming to him now. Bam was sent to a training center, and a really nice one. Jungkook also talked about how Bam is not in the best shape recently. Now keep in mind this is translated from Korean to English, so there could be some translation errors there, but ultimately it's believed that Bam is not doing so well. Jungkook talked about how Bam has been hospitalized more often lately. A lot of it has to do with the types of food he needs to eat, and even a special type of medical shampoo is needed. Jungkook talks about how Bam has a lot more bacteria in his stomach than most dogs, and it's a lot of stuff that obviously, since most of us are not doctors, we're not going to understand, but just assume that it's not great. People theorize that this was likely a reason Jungkook could not visit Jin, thinking that he was in and out of the hospital that day to see Bam and just simply did not have time to see Jin. And if that's true, that is totally understandable. Dogs' lives aren't that long, and you want to spend more time with them, especially if they're not currently in the best shape, and there'll always be another opportunity to visit Jin. And Jungkook will have that opportunity soon. In fact, when Jungkook enlists, he'll see Jin every day. Jimin has actually been very active and open over the idea that he went to visit Jin and misses Jin very much. He recently has been posting a lot more, did a live stream, which I want to get into more, and has just overall been more active. He posted on a reel on TikTok which garnered millions of views where he was crying. He was looking at a box of fried chicken and then getting super emotional. He was crying, and of course this is likely acting crying and not real tears. He also then panned to a bowl of ramen noodles, and this is a very cool treat in Korea, fried chicken and ramen noodles. If you watch Run BTS or any BTS reality show, you'll see that BTS will eat fried chicken and ramen for any meal whenever they can. I do react to almost all of the BTS reality shows over on Patreon if you do want to check that out or fangirl with me and watch BTS eat, travel, and just have fun. We do have a limited $1 spot that is open. Would love to see you there. Link in the description. Anywho, people assumed what was happening during the reels that Jimin really wanted to eat some of the ramen and fried chicken but could not because, as Jimin expressed, he is currently getting ready for his solo stuff. It's pretty common within entertainment to start losing weight before a big comeback or debut just to make sure you look really good for the music videos. It's very much expected, and when an artist even begins thinking about making a comeback, they'll usually get rid of some of the fluff they may have. However, we definitely should not feel too bad for Jimin because it does seem like he was one of the ones who bought the chicken and made the noodles, so he was likely going to have some of it. An approach that I think is healthy for people when they're dieting is just moderation. Sure, you probably shouldn't eat 10 pieces of chicken and then let it go to your thighs, but perhaps you could just have one and then the rest of your meal is healthier. Jimin talks about his weight and dieting a lot. During the Vibe music video with Taeyang and behind the scenes, Jimin talks about how he lost 6 kg for the music video. So this theory that Jimin Jimin would be emotional about not being able to eat the food actually makes a lot of sense. It's also very jarring and attention-grabbing when scrolling on Instagram Reels and you come across a video of Jimin crying. I mean, give him an Oscar. He is amazing. People were saying that Jimin must be talking about how much all of this hurts and that he must be in a lot of pain for not being able to eat. But in case anyone is concerned, I think Jimin is okay, and once Jimin's comeback is over, he can definitely have a few days where he just eats and relaxes. And even if he does gain weight, he will lose it all during the service. During a recent live stream that Jimin did, Jimin talked about visiting Jin during the military camp and how it was nice to see Jin again. This raised a bit of concern. Initially, J-Hope talked about how Jin looked like he was eating well, not necessarily referring to the idea that he had gained weight, but just that he seemed to have a big appetite. Jimin continued the conversation to say that Jin must have done something different because initially Jin had very little appetite, and it was good to see Jin have that return. Jimin talked about how much Jin loves food, but in the past had to limit his intake of food, and so when they sat down to eat together, Jimin noticed that Jin was taking bigger bites and eating well. This was a concern when Jimin mentioned that Jin had no appetite before. People were wondering what happened to Jin that made him not want to eat or unable to eat. It was also strange when a photo of Jimin, Jin, and J-Hope was posted on Jin's Instagram. People kept tweeting out how Jin looked so different. They said that the hair obviously looks different, but others were saying so does the face a little bit. That could be the camera there. Could also be a bit of a filter there. I think a filter is likely, as the social media team might need to approve the photo first, and if Jin isn't wearing makeup, sometimes they may put a filter on there. Just a theory, I don't know for sure. And of course, Jin's weight likely has changed as well. People were definitely wondering if Jin was getting the proper help and if he was doing well in the service, if Jin was not eating or doing well. However, I wouldn't worry about that too much. After all, Jin did get private first class. This obviously means that he has been working hard and really trying to be the best that he can be in the military. So the fact that he can perform at a level that is better than everyone shows that he is doing just fine. But also the added stress of adjusting to various things like a different sleeping schedule, and I'm sure in the training there's training for things like no sleep or no eating, because during war you probably don't get much time to sleep or eat. Other things like the stress of a specific training might not make you very hungry. If I was doing very rigorous activity, I probably wouldn't be able to eat as I might be sore or just too tired, that I would prefer to take my lunch break in my bunker and sleep. So having things like that change or eating habits change is very normal. It shows that Jin is in fact working hard and not just getting these high marks because the military staff likes him. I don't think the members are too upset or concerned over Jin's health. I think they are a little concerned, which is why they went to visit and realized that Jin is actually doing okay. But they're not concerned that he is being neglected at the camp. People were wondering if Jin was not eating, why he was not sent to medical help, and even concerns that any injury Jin may get, he may not be getting the proper care for. However, that is not true. If he was seriously injured, he will be getting proper care. But what do you think about all this? How do you feel about Jung Kook sharing his status of his dog Bam and that Bam is not doing very well? How do you feel about Jimin allegedly sobbing over not being able to eat ramen and fried chicken? Do you think that that's the case? And how do you feel about Jin in the picture? Does he look different? And do you think that he needs medical help for not having a big appetite initially? Or do you think it's normal like I do? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for the comment right here. Love you. Bye.